The Jets have not made the playoffs in 12 years. Do you know what has happened in the world in the last 12 years? Let's see. Tom Brady has won another Super Bowl with a different team. Check. COVID, the world was locked down. Donald Trump became president. What's going on? Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Bing! Well. Oh, to the whale. Let's start off up in New York.
Which part? The New Jersey part or the Buffalo part?
New Jersey part. Let's start up in Zach Wilson. You get an opportunity. Mike White gets an opportunity, goes against the Chicago Bears. That is actually the game that could have got Zach Wilson back on the winning streak. Couldn't have showed that he has it, but you know what? Robert Saleh did one thing that was extremely interesting. He sacrificed to have success. He sacrificed Zach Wilson and that team. He sacrificed allowing Zach Wilson not to play based off how he's responded, based off what players are feeling. I haven't spoken to anyone there, but you could just look at the demeanor of guys that just eye roll, shrugged over shoulders, just kind of seeing that people are like, eh. And I already know we're at a disadvantage when this dude's there because he's gonna do something that's just gonna hurt us.
It's Sauce Gardner after the game said during the first drive, he turned to the rest of the defense and said, "We get a little bit more rest today, boys. We don't get to go right back out on the field."
And see, what does that say?
They're not fans of Zach Wilson. They do not want to be in the Zach Wilson business.
It sounds like it. But I also think that how Zach Wilson has all the ability right now to fix things for himself. How he operates in his meeting room, how he walks around the building. Can he be a real team player? This is people, newsflash, get my sirens going. This is what happens when you give the keys of an expensive car, meaning the franchise New York Jets. Zach Wilson has a learner's permit, but you let him drive this expensive car and there is nothing good is gonna come from it. Somebody caught me and said, "Oh, Zach Wilson hasn't been in the league." Because last week I said you had an opportunity to beat the New England Patriots, who's won 14 consecutive games. I know he was not there, people. I'm just pointing out how bad the Jets have been. Think about it. The Jets have not made the playoffs in 12 years. Do you know what has happened in the world in the last 12 years? Let's see. Tom Brady has won another Super Bowl with a different team. Check. COVID, the world was locked down. Donald Trump became president. There's so many, and no, I don't talk about politics, but I did see someone said that Steve Smith is a Trump supporter. No, that's not true. So just want to make that clear. I don't get into politics. Politics are like cooking.
Okay.
And I was raised by a strong, vocal, black mama who drove a Buick Skylark that said "Faux Miss Flo," right? It was white. And basically what she told me is, listen, don't you ever come in a house and start looking in my pots while I'm cooking in the kitchen. That's how I look at politics. I don't go in your pots. Don't come in my pots. But I will tell you what I don't cook.
Yeah,
right?
you want to make it clear what's not on the stove.
Yes,
yeah.
I'll tell you what's clear. Chitlins. I don't eat chitlins. I don't cook chitlins. And Donald Trump is chitlins.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Okay?
Simple and plain.
Yes. And this may take people, and they're like, what does this mean? I'm light-skinned. And what do I mean by light-skinned? There's just light-skinned tendencies, okay? I say it on television. People are like, oh, Steve's racist. No, I'm just telling you what I am. I am caramel, pecan tan. There are certain things I like, and there are other things I won't touch with a 10-foot pole. And that is chitlin.
People were calling you racist for being anti-chitlin.
I don't know if that works, but anyway.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
Welcome to my world, because I've never said that I was a Donald Trump fan. So, all right. Let's see. Donald Trump has became president. Hey, we've had a black president, Barack Obama. There's a number of things.
I was in college when the Jets last made the playoffs. College. Really? Yeah.
Were you in college, or college was watching you?
I was on campus for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. I was thinking. Well, as soon as you started with the hours.
Yeah, I was in the vicinity.
Yo. Let me say it like this. Your financial aid didn't catch up with your grades yet, huh?
Oh, heavens no. No.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
hey, yeah. That Pell Grant money kicked in before they got that those final grades.
Yeah, yeah, big time. Yeah, there were many calls.
Yeah, there was many calls. All right, so, man, how about the Jets? The Jets look awesome.
They played a team that has quit. They've quit.
So,
the Bears have quit.
So
the
what?
Bears have quit. That matters.
That's not the Jets' fault.
It's not the Jets' fault. No. That's not.
They're not the schedule pickers.
Trust me. I wish
if the Jets lost to the Bears, now what would you be saying? You'd be calling them frauds, Mr. New England.
Definitely.
Look at you.
If they lost to a team that quit, yeah, I would call them frauds. Yeah,
exactly. So now that they beat a team that quit, and I'm not saying they quit. Coley is saying they quit.
I did.
If they didn't beat that team, you'd be all over them. They beat a team that was quitting. They should have. And Mike White
handled his business.
He handled his business, which
1,000%.
Oh man, the memes of Zach Wilson in that rain. They were calling him Darth Vader. He was tough. I was sitting there watching. I was going, ooh. Right? I'm telling you, it's going to make that New England, if Mike White is playing, it's going to make that New England Jets game very interesting. Now, the part that I'm worried about is the godfather of confusion, Bill Belichick, will have Mike White doing some things that people are going to be like, he's not ready. And that's just going to be the process that you're going to have to deal with. But I think Zach Wilson is not done with the Jets. I think his behavior will deem how next year goes. I'm telling you. Because Zach Wilson does have some ability. He's not done. You can't stick a fork in him. He's not done.
He might be done with the Jets.
I don't know. His behavior will dictate it because he still has a skill set, man. He does have a skill set.
Outside of his behavior, just listening to how Robert Saleh's talked about him, he can't come out and say, I think this kid stinks, because then that kills his trade value, whatever trade value there may be.
No, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with trade value. I think it comes in as, well, if you say that I'm rolling with you a week and a half ago, and then you come in and basically throw me under the bus, it's going to say that you're two-faced, right? It's going to say
two-faced.
Yeah.
Two-faced, and the other guys in the locker room are like, man, if I have a bad stretch, is he going to do this to me?
Exactly.
But I think
Robert Salas had to sacrifice. He has to sacrifice Zach Wilson, because if he doesn't, that team is too good. Zach Wilson has been holding them back.
I mean, look at these receivers. Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is free.
He's free. He is free. I mean, technically, he wasn't ever let go, or he just it was like, oh, Zach Wilson be like, Elijah Moore going across the middle. Nope, not you, Garrett Wilson, maybe. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
I don't. The way Salah said, look at Geno Smith when talking about Zach Wilson.
Man, that's the kiss of death right there.
Right. For me, when you're like, if the path to success is sitting for a decade and then going to the other side of the country and backing into a starting job, that to me says pretty loud and clearly, like, the Jets are done here. If they can get a second or a third for Zach Wilson, I think they're moving him, because it's like he does seem like very entitled, and I don't think that flies. And like, unless you've done what Tom's done, where you've won a lot, and even he doesn't act that entitled. He gets spoiled bratish on the sidelines when stuff's not going right, but he has the cachet of a 20-year career. Not, hey, I've done nothing, and everyone needs to, I'm the guy. Let me throw the ball 40 times to no one in particular. I don't see how he ends up playing for the Jets, especially if they keep winning with. I mean, they won with Flacco early in the year. Now they've won with Mike White. Garrett Wilson looks like a completely different guy when anyone but Zach Wilson is under center. True. I don't see how they can make the switch back. This isn't Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi to me, where like both guys are kind of the same. This is like, hey, the Jets are a playoff real team.
Look, the Jets are a playoff team, no matter who's at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
But without Zach Wilson, they actually have a chance to win a playoff game.
Right.
If Zach Wilson is on the sideline.
1,000%.
Tough. Hey, this is why I don't play anymore. This stress, the mental stress that you have of performing or hoping to perform or being handcuffed to perform based on some of the things or lack thereof around you has such a big impact on you. So, man, is it fair to say Zach Wilson is a sacrificial lamb? You never thought of it that way, huh?
No, not really. I've just been thinking.
But that's why your eyes are wondering. You're like, ooh. You kind of like, you want to disagree, but you're kind of like saying it because you're a Patriots fan, so you're already going, I want Zach Wilson in the game.
Love when he's in the game.
But you also are like intrigued, like how good of a game can this be as a PSL owner for the New England Patriots to see technically this shootout that we kind of saw this Thanksgiving with Minnesota and New England.
Yeah, I mean, I like that we broke the Jets. Like, I like that we took the guy they took second overall and just ended his Jets career. That is like another notch on Patriots Jets belt. Not only did we beat them 14 times in a row, we ended his you took a quarterback second overall a year ago.
Yes,
that's bad business.
Yeah, but the New England Patriots didn't end his career. Zach Wilson ended.
That was his last game.
Why though? Because he made some mistakes. You're sounding like a DB when the ball is overthrown and you're like, yeah, great defense. Man, that ball was thrown out of bounds. If it was just thrown here within my 6 foot frame, 6'2" wingspan, I'm 6'2" wingspan frame, then I would have caught it. But since you threw it at the 8-2 mark, I can't get it.
If the Jets had been the team that returned the punt for a touchdown instead of Marcus Jones and the Patriots, does Zach Wilson get benched? I don't think he does.
Yeah, I think he still does.
Coming off a win?
Yes.
That's the thing. He's still, I think, 5-2 this year with his only 2 losses coming to the Patriots. I don't know that you can bench a guy while you're winning.
Yes, you can. They just did. If he's 5-2, that's winning. I'm not a mathematician, but
2 out of 3. He played the Patriots 2 out of 3 weeks and lost both games. Like,
Yes.
could not move the ball either week. That's
No,
why he got his job
no,
taken.
he did not move the ball. They were moving the ball. He didn't throw the ball out of bounds. He threw it into the hands of someone else. You remember?
They got 3 points. Like, they weren't moving the ball enough to get in the field goal range.
There's 2 people that I put this category transition into my Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Right? Zach Wilson is the butt of all jokes, and Russell Wilson is the butt of all jokes. Right? You remember the old you remember the old saying, give it to Mikey, he'll eat it. Russell Wilson is Mikey. When things go wrong, blame it on Russell Wilson.
It's fair. It's a fair person to blame.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Why isn't it fair?
How efficient was Sam?
You can't
Darnold
even say
this
it.
weekend?
You can't.
I moved on. I ignored you. I ignored you like sometimes we ignore people begging for money during the holiday season. That's what I did.
You know it's fair.
So you look at my man Sam Darnold.
You said he shouldn't play the rest of the season. Look at him.
Yeah,
he looks like he looked great. DJ Moore, another guy, free.
I'm not engaging in that banter. All I know is Sam Darnold was out there balling, stepping up in the pocket, looking efficient, consistent, helped the defense. Here's the problem with the with the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos, Nathaniel Hackett had a game plan of bringing in Russell Wilson. He built this offense around old Russell Wilson. Old Russell Wilson is not playing for the Denver Broncos. When I was listening to the broadcast, some of the people that were talking, they were talking about how Nathaniel Hackett needs Russell Wilson to scramble more. No. Russell Wilson at one point, I think he was hitting 20 miles per hour, 17 miles per hour. Russell Wilson ain't hitting 17 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour anymore. You can see they need to adapt this offense to the current Russell Wilson, not the old Russell Wilson. The Russell Wilson that private plane, Amtrak, U-Hauled, Greyhound, commercial plane, Spirit, Frontier, Southwest, Delta, American Airlines, Teleport, Bewitched. Well, however he got there, Carnival,
Norwegian.
Whatever, Norwegian is actually awesome. However Viking, however he got over to whatever he used in Seattle to get to Denver, he left it in Seattle. He's no longer that Russell Wilson. The Denver Broncos need to adapt to what Russell Wilson is today. Russell Wilson is not a guy who could scramble and make things happen. Let Russ cook. He's more of boiling water right now. He's not cooking.
No.
Man, the whole meal has come in a box. It has the flavor in the package. It has it has the all dried up ingredients. You need to boil it, throw it in there, let it simmer, cover it up. 20 minutes later, you have that mac and cheese. Throw some wieners in there, and then that's your protein, and that is Russell Wilson. He is no longer Roots Chris, Fleming's, Steak 48, Roots Chris, Capitol Grill. My man is fast casual.
We've talked about coordinators keep coming from the same trees, from the same systems. Are they even able to adapt their system? Is that even a thing coordinators can do, or do they have to go find a different coach?
Well, you're the coordinator. Yes, you need to adapt. You got to make in-game decisions. You're at the back half of the season. You got to quit acting and like thinking you're going to do something. You just got to do it. You have to do it. This team cannot score over 19 points.
This game was the Matt Rule Panthers looking at the new Matt Rule Broncos. Like, they cannot score more than 17 points. They just can't do it.
Well, first of all, they don't have a running game, and this offense is predicated on the running game. Russell is getting better with his timing, but they just are not a very efficient offense.
No.
Defense is second overall. Defense will keep them in games. But the offense just has no juice, man.
None.
They're juiceless.
Well, how bad is it when the D tackle's yelling at the starting quarterback in the middle
I
of the
saw
game?
that. Look, in the middle of the game, people yell at each other all the time. Don't
How often is correct? They do, but how often is it a defensive player yelling at the quarterback? That doesn't happen frequently.
No, but you know why it happened?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me
He
why
stinks.
it happened.
He's holding the team back.
No, it has nothing to do with that. What it has to do with the performance that Russell is doing. And then the penalty goes on, and Russell probably said something to him like, hey, man, we better than that. And he looked like, we?
We're French now? Yeah.
Pot? Is that right, Kettle? And so he kind of took offense to it. Like, bro, you say one more thing. Try me today. I told you you're sitting in seat 7. You sitting in my seat. I told you get on my seat now. It's tempers flaring. Russell probably said something. The same way Russell is tone deaf was saying to him is the same tone deaf post of Russell Wilson got him his action shot. You see his action shot on social media? They got him walking in slow-mo. It's a dope. I mean, the suit, the whole ensemble is tight. The problem is you out there doinking free throws, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't, Russell, we ain't riding, you ain't cooking, and the suit is fly. But that's the best part of you is the suit.
Right. Like if Brian Robinson and the Commanders don't win this weekend, he can't wear the giant hat. Like you can't come in with the flies. Like you're going to be wearing the sweatsuit on the way out if you come in with the suit like that after you lose to the Panthers, how they did. The Panthers, they're a mixed extra point away from being tied for first in that division.
Ain't that something, huh? How about Steve Wilks? Hear ye, oh, hear ye. Steve Wilks is doing a great job. How about that, huh?
That's insane.
It's madness. Look at that. And then the Browns take down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to help the Carolina Panthers. Woo!
Is that the goal in Carolina right now?
I'm not in the locker room, so I cannot say. I don't know.
Well, even like the fan base, like the general feeling in Carolina, is it like? Because right now you've lost some grounds in tanking. Like it's harder. It's real hard to get back to that like top 1 or 2 pick.
Yeah, it's mixed bags here in Carolina. Half the fan base is happy. Half the fan base is, why didn't Sam play like this at the beginning? Steve is always killing it. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I'm gonna take an approach like this. I'm just gonna, choose my words carefully, talk about my team because I want to talk about my team, and just kind of go with the flow, man. That's what I'm gonna do. But I'm loving my Carolina Panthers.
What can Sam Darnold do the rest of the season?
Just keep playing. Keep playing the way he's playing.
To be Carolina's starter next year.
Listen, you talk, man, next year. Bro, stay current, man, right here. Can we it's Tuesday, it's the day off. Can we enjoy our day off? Huh? You always stop, man. It's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving. And you already talking about New Year's and Easter. Can we be in 2022?
We can talk about Zach Wilson's future. We can't talk about Sam Darnold's.
You tried to talk about Zach Wilson's future. I said it all depends on how he handles himself moving forward this year. Did I not say that?
Right, yeah, you gave an answer.
Rewind the tape. Rewind. Yeah, hey, DJ, hit that tape.
Yeah, you answered the question. You didn't dodge it.
Boom. Look at that. I've been working out a little bit. You see that? I'm gonna slimming up and stuff. Sure.
Well, what kind of t-shirt is that? It looks good on you.
That t-shirt is Penguin. You see it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
You see it? Look at that.
That's right. Real strong.
It is. It's a large too. It's not an XL.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right.
What was your gold from this past weekend of football? Since we're staying in the present,
My goal has to be the Washington Commanders versus the Atlanta Falcons.
the Falcons or gold?
Yes,
Okay.
because the Commanders' defense and Chase Young has been activated. This defense is keeping them in games.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Taylor Heinecke is making it very clear that Carson Wentz is on his way out. They traded for Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz is again going to be moved and moving to a new city. The question is he moving to a new city as a guy that's fighting for the starting job, or is he moving to a new city as the backup, which means the guy that will never, ever play? Taylor Heinecke is playing efficient, consistent football. He's a gunslinger. He's going to chuck it up. He's going to throw it. But he also has the confidence because the defense will give him more and more and more opportunities. Taylor Heinecke is the right move for this Washington Commanders team moving forward.
I feel like he's been the right move, and they keep trying to supplant him with other guys who are just more expensive versions of him.
Yeah, they have, but this defense hasn't always been as good as they are now, and it's very clear. Right? There is a little splashes of, Heinecke, maybe he's the guy. And then he'll do some stuff that you go, oh. But it is clear and apparent this defense has Heineke's back, and Heinecke will sling the ball all over the lot, right? But it has to be in the right amount, though. You can't just say, all right, in cooking, you say, hey, let me give you a dash or something, and that's not a dash, right? He's learning what a dash is. He's learning what a fourth is. He's learning what a half a cup is, what a teaspoon is, what a tablespoon is. He's learning really the right ingredients for this team to be dangerous in the playoffs and in the last 4 quarters, the last half of this season. With this defense, the Commanders can make some people really nervous and can be problematic for a lot of teams. Again, though, the Atlanta Falcons, the Washington Commanders also showed us what the Atlanta Falcons will do. The Atlanta Falcons need to start looking for a quarterback. I don't believe Ritter is ready to play. And it is obvious because they won't put him in because Marcus Mariota is on the struggle bus. Like, they're going to run the football, but they also need to throw the ball, and they are hesitant in putting Marcus Mariota in a position where they need to rely solely on his arm. They can't rely on his arm.
This is a team that's drafted 2 pass catchers in the top 10 the last 2 years over Justin Fields, one of them specifically, an Atlanta kid who wanted to come play for the Falcons, and they took a tight end instead. And now they don't even throw it to that tight end. I don't know that the Falcons...
The tight end is Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, he's a really good player.
He's hurt.
They have no one to give him the ball.
Sure,
but even when he was healthy this year, Arthur Smith came out and said, this isn't fantasy football. We're not going to just throw these players. You can't throw the ball to anyone. We get it.
The reason he's saying it's fantasy football is because his quarterback can't help his fantasy football team. That's why. Marcus Mariota.
Right.
Like, think about it. Marcus Mariota should not be playing. But that tells me that Ritter's not ready.
For sure. And I'm saying they messed up both by going tight end. Like, tight end, I love the tight end position. In New England, the tight end position has been very good to me. Passing over a quarterback when it was known at the time. This isn't even revisionist history.
But so are you telling me that you believe Justin Fields in Atlanta would not have had the same growing pains? Like, Justin Fields is going to have growing pains.
For sure.
Okay.
Where are we now, though?
Justin Fields is unfortunately injured right now.
Would they have been the same growing pains? Would it have been? He's had 2 coaches in Chicago, or just one?
I don't 2. I don't know.
2, yeah.
I don't think it's fair to say that he would or he wouldn't have the same growing pains, because he's still like Justin Fields. Every quarterback in the league, unless you're obviously not, Peyton Manning, even Aaron Rodgers.
Peyton had tremendous growing pains. Peyton set the record for interceptions and turnovers the first couple of years.
Okay. I'm just making sure, like, people think, well, let me take this guy, put him in here, and if I put him in here, he'll be fantastic. That's not fair to say. That's.
I'm not saying he would have been fantastic. Do we both agree he'd be better than the situation they have now?
I don't know.
At quarterback.
I don't know. I don't.
Do you agree that part of his growing pains in Chicago was Chicago not, as we've said with Denver, not tailoring their offense to his actual strengths?
Slightly.
Something they didn't start doing till this season.
Strong possibility.
Okay, so could that have also been different in Atlanta? I think so. It could have been different both ways, both the correct way and the wrong way.
Yes, I agree. Because you also don't know how people handle coaching these types of players either, though.
For sure.
Like we can sit here and say, oh, he would have been better. Justin Fields would have been better in Atlanta. Well, that's not fair to say. We don't know that exactly.
I'm not saying a better version of Justin Fields. I'm saying better than the quarterbacks they have on their roster right now.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
I feel like I
really
know.
don't.
I feel like I know.
Well, Mr. Know-it-all, I'll let you live
I didn't
with
say
that.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I didn't say I know it all.
All right, what's your goal then?
Despite losing Patriots and Vikings.
I like that. Tell me why. Do tell. I'll sit back and listen.
Because I felt like this was the most entertaining start to finish Thanksgiving game slate we've had since they went
in a long time.
Since they went from 2 to 3 games, I can't remember having 3 games that were actually watchable. Like this.
Even if you could remember, you would still say you can't remember.
Typically, the night games.
That chuckle is a confirm.
Typically, the night game's the garbage one too, and this one was a shootout until the Patriots. And this is something I don't feel like people talk about enough when it comes to the Patriots. People focus on Mac Jones. Before that, it was Cam Newton. Whoever the quarterback is post Tom Brady. People focus on the Josh McDaniels to whoever's calling plays on a given down and distance for the Patriots right now. The underreported part of the Patriots is our special teams have been dog water since Joe Judge went to the Giants.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
My dog, she did not like that. She did not like when you said that, right?
I apologize.
She is offended. Teeks, are you offended? Look, Teeks. She is offended that you actually said that. Can you believe he said dog water tea? Hey.
She looks furious.
Look at that. Look at that. You said dog water. She's like, what? I'm
cat
offended.
Water.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Special teams have been horrific. There's been a lack of discipline. We run into a kicker and we allow a kick return for a touchdown in the same game. And that's the difference. That's 14 points right there. That was a 14-point swing. Those two mistakes.
Yeah, Minnesota actually is a good team as well.
Minnesota's a great team. That's why you can't make those mistakes against a really good team. That's my point. You cannot make those. We're not good enough to make those kind of mistakes and still win. In the past, yes, we could make a couple of mistakes. Tom Brady could bail us out, something like that. We don't have that luxury anymore. We cannot make you can't run into the kicker when you're the rookie running back on punt return.
You can't run into the kicker with any team. That's a penalty.
Correct. 1,000%. You definitely should not do that.
Yeah. Captain Obvious here.
But when our defense has their second worst game of the year.
It happens. You go against a pretty good offense.
It happens. Yeah, Justin Jefferson might be offensive player of the year.
Kirk. Look cool, Kirk.
Primetime Kirk.
Kirk. Nice shade. Kirk heard Coley talking about him. That after 1 o'clock, blase. Kirk said, "Now what?" Yeah, I think you owe Kirk apology. The floor is yours.
I will after I'm done talking about this. The defense finally gets a stop in the fourth quarter.
Finally.
After Kirk's been shredding them all game. They finally get a stop. It's a tie game.
Put some jitsu knives in my hand as I do it.
We run into the kicker, give them the ball right back. They walk down the field and score
Penalty.
a touchdown.
Game winning touchdown.
That's that. With that penalty and the kick return for a touchdown, that never. I can't remember the last time that happened against the Patriots. A kick return like that.
I agree. So now, Kirk, the floor is yours. Kirk, we have an announcement.
Kirk, you, despite hitting several cornerbacks right in the hands and they just didn't catch it, you, outside of those 3 throws, you carved us up. I apologize.
That was the most backhanded compliment I've heard.
2 of his first 5 passes of the game hit Jonathan Jones in the hands.
Yeah, that's why he's a DB.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Hey, they can catch, but they can't catch like a wide receiver now.
No, they sure can't.
One of the things that I walked away with, if there's one thing that concerns me with the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
The secondary. That secondary does kind of worry me when you start to talk about the playoffs, because in the playoffs, they're not playing the Green Bay Packers. They're out. They're not playing the Chicago Bears. They're out. They're not playing the Detroit Lions. They're out. They're going to be playing some teams that are going to cause them some troubles in that pass game. I think they need to tighten this up, man. They need to get it together, because Mac Jones did a great job, but I'm more concerned at the lack of the ability to stop them at times. They didn't stop them when they needed to. And so that just worries me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Max looked a lot better on the other side of it.
Look at
these
you.
Last 2 weeks.
So Zappy can stay seated then?
Well, my whole point was
yes or no, sir. Can Zappy stay seated?
I mean, if you're going to ask me a question like this, Zappy's undefeated.
Hey, where's my dart gun?
Listen, you're going to ask me questions like that.
Mac Jones is 308. What happened was that lets me know right there. 382, bro. 382.
I said he played well. I said he played well. He said he played real well, but he's playing differently.
Zappy's undefeated. So what?
I didn't bring up Zappy. If you look at Mac Jones these last 2 games versus the first half of the season before
we're looking right now, man.
He was not standing in the pocket as he was against the Vikings.
Yeah,
he's
part of it.
Taller. He's stepping into throws.
Yeah, but
because his back was hurt.
Yes,
his back was hurt.
Why was his back hurt?
He hurt it in the preseason. I don't remember on what play.
Yeah, because he got lawn chaired. That's why. He's been getting hit. Man, that boy ain't built like a Buick. He built like, he's a modern fiberglass.
But my problem was everyone, when he was struggling, wouldn't just admit he was. I'm not saying on this show, the rest of the media, they didn't say he was struggling because he was hurt. They said he was struggling because of the play calling. So now my question is the play calling, hold on. No, hold on, wait. Is the play calling all of a sudden fixed because he's playing?
It's better. It's all. It's all. He's playing better. The play calls are better. They are.
Why can't we score in the red zone then?
I don't know. I'm not in that locker room either. I'm not sure.
I think people burned the play calling excuse when Mac was very clearly not playing well.
It's an evolution of what this team is going through. This team is going through growing pains. They have a first-time offensive coordinator, whether it's Joe Judd or Matt Patricia. Both of them have never did it in their life at this level, for this team, for this year, at this moment. They've never done it before. So it's different. It's some growing pains, right? I got 4 kids. What I've done with the 4th one, I didn't do with the first one. What I've done with the 3rd one, I didn't do with the 2nd one, and so on. You evolve, good and bad. You switch it up. You live, you learn. They're learning what Mac Jones can do. Heck, we're learning what Matt Patricia can and can't do. We're learning what the Patriots can and can't do. It's interesting. But I can tell you what, we sure gonna find out with this 15-mile-an-hour winds that's coming up this Thursday when it's gonna be 41, but it feels like 34 or 31 degrees this Thursday night in New England, in Foxborough. Do the Buffalo Bills punt the ball? It doesn't matter. They need to show can they win, because the last couple of weeks it's kind of been a little topsy-turvy. It's been a little turbulence. Josh Allen has moved down on the depth chart of MVP, and some other people have risen up to the occasion. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I am going to be watching this game very closely with my one eye like this.
I think we get ran off the field.
What'd you say?
I think we get ran off the field.
Man, you sound like a typical Boston guy. We get ran. You're so bitter.
That's how Boston people talk. We're gonna lose. That's how we talk.
I mean, you guys just complain a lot. You're natural complainers.
Well, all right. So if I said we were gonna run them off the field, it'd be like, "There's typical Boston. They always think they're gonna win." Like, no, I genuinely don't think we're going to beat the Bills.
No matter what you said, I would have took the position.
Correct. Yeah.
I
could have given such a nuanced answer. I could have been like, well, I mean, I think the Bills get up early, but I think the Patriots make it close. The Bills ultimately win. You would have been like, classic Boston.
No matter what you said, you were doomed either way. Hey, this is totally tongue in cheek. See, now you see how it feels to be a black man. You're never right, huh? You got your honorary hood card. Congratulations.
Yeah, first of many.
First opinion. Is that right? Oh, okay. All right.
I don't think the Bills have a division win yet. So I just can't imagine that's going to continue. Like that, it's one of those things where I don't think that's just going to carry into December. Yeah.
It's going. The Bills went from the penthouse to the outhouse. They went from getting the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed to all of a sudden now they're in a wild card.
There were some people on NFL Network preseason that were floating 20-0 out there.
Oh, like, yes, you know who? Mike Robb. Listen, I rarely do this. I haven't shaved because I had the week off. There were no Thursday nights because it was Thanksgiving. The Buffalo Bills right now in the AFC East are hanging on by a thread. Let me show you how they're hanging on to. Boy, like this hairline right there. You see that? You see the things on the side? Ain't nothing right there in the middle, boy. That's how they're hanging on. It's tough. I'm thinking about growing it out. I was gonna get those. Remember when Jerry Rice had braids? Remember when they started back here? Like that's what. Shout out to the GOAT. You remember that, huh? Man, them things was back here. Yeah. Like, bro, let them go, Jim.
What was the Seahawks? Was that Seahawks rice or was it Oakland rice?
It was both. They were both. It was both.
Oh, man. What was
silver?
Your,
my silver?
Yeah, what was? Mm-hmm.
Man, Cincinnati and Tennessee.
That was a good one.
The Tennessee Titans, they're going to go to the playoffs. As a wild card, they're going to win their division. But the Tennessee Titans, offensively, like their offense is ran by Derrick Henry. But if the Cincinnati Bengals get anywhere close to being behind in the game, they're in complete trouble. They have no ability to score quickly. It is the longest. When the Tennessee Titans score, it's like an old Heinz 57 ketchup commercial. You remember those commercials where like you could do 9 million other things before the ketchup actually goes on the burger or fries? It's so long, right? It is drawn out. King Henry here, King Henry there. Incomplete pass here, incomplete pass there. Screen to King Henry, then he goes for 60, 50 yards. It's extremely tough. They're inconsistent in the passing game. And the reason they need some of their wide receivers to pick up and to get better. But the fact that their passing game, their wide receiver one is Austin Hooper. I like Austin Hooper as a tight end.
Good player. Good player.
Not as the feature pass catcher.
Right.
It's not happening, bro.
What have you seen, if anything, from Treylon Burks, rookie out of Arkansas?
I like him. I like him. But even some of the passes that Ryan Tannehill was throwing, off the mark, inconsistent. It's tough. They're not going to be able to win the real big football games if they don't find a passing game.
And the last 2 weeks, it seems like they've tried to feature Henry more as a
Did you say try?
receiver.
I don't know where.
Well, as a receiver.
Try? They are not trying. They are. Like,
for sure, I think he's had like 4 or 5 receptions, so that's where I think try is the word I use.
Well, but it's been successful. The problem is
definitely
that's their go-to, and when they get behind, they don't have the ability to march forward and score quickly. They can't. Like, I was watching the game, I'm just like, God, like their passing game is going to be their Achilles heel. And then you got the Cincinnati Bengals. They just run the ball just to show you that they're effective at it. They only blitz 17% of the time because they have so many guys. And Joe Burrow is ridiculous back there. He's Joe Cool. Like some people say, he's getting to this, he's getting to that. Listen, he's getting to it. That's what he's getting. He's playing great football. When it comes, I wrote on here, if and when the Tennessee Titans are down by 2 scores, what are they going to do? Like, I can tell you, I can tell you what you do. If the game is at that Nissan Stadium in Nashville and it's like middle of the third quarter, you better go run to the concession stand and double fist that thing before last call because it's going to be a tough one. It's not going to be easy. The defense, they don't really blitz a lot. Defense is great. The front 7 is great. Secondary is piecing it together, but they were last. They're still in the 30s, maybe the 20s, defensively in the secondary. They can't, if they get in a shootout, they have no shooters.
Yeah.
Like, you need marksmen, and they don't have it. Their offense is not built to play against Tua, who's in the MVP candidacy, had 300+ yards and was done by halftime. Mm-hmm. Houston Texans now are the homecoming team for everybody, right? They can't get in a shootout with Josh Allen. They can't get in a shootout. I mean, with Mac Jones, Mahomes, definitely not Mahomes.
I feel like they could be just fine with Mac Jones.
When has Ryan Tannehill in the Tennessee Titans this year had 382 yards passing? When?
I'm not saying. I'm saying the shootout would be much lower. Like it would just be like a.
I think Mac Jones wins.
Could the Patriots?
I think Mac Jones wins that shootout, bro.
Could the Patriots put 24 on the Titans? Joe Burrow just put 20 on them. It's not like.
Because Tennessee Titans defense is pretty darn good.
That's what I'm saying. They
get after people. Their guys running open in the secondary, but their front 4 is getting after them and gets the quarterback off the spot.
Right. That's where it's like, I don't love us against the Titans. That's more what I was saying.
Well, Trent Brown is at left tackle. Yes, that can hurt you.
Trent's had a tough year. Oh, he's been great. He's been a great Patriot. This has not been his finest year.
This is what got him out and shipped to they were Oakland at this time when he was with Oakland.
Yeah.
And then came back and played well. Yeah, it's tough.
But it was always on the right side. I still don't know why we moved him to left this year.
Because you guys are geniuses. That's why.
We lost Heinecke. We lost Heinecke. That genius tag does not apply to the offensive line. Heinecke should be in the same building you should be in pretty soon. In Canton. You guys should be in that same building together.
Okay.
That's right. Finalist. I think we were going to go the whole episode and not talk about that. Semi-finalist. Steve
Semi-finalist.
Smith, senior. Finalist soon. Soon and very soon.
No, I don't know about that. I appreciate it.
Hey,
listen, there's other wide receivers.
This show, well, 1,000%.
Yeah.
And the NFL Hall of Fame, I could sit here and rant about why I think they could have a better process of getting guys in. They made Terrell Owens wait a year. I mean, what are we talking about here?
I'm not getting into that. Now.
For sure. Yeah, no, listen, I'm going to do the talking right now. You just sit there and smile and look handsome.
All right.
Before we ever did this show, when I looked at your career, that's a Hall of Fame career. There's no question in my mind. You've got the numbers. And anyone who doesn't see that, they don't deserve to vote. That's my take.
I mean, it's tough. What happens? Reggie needs to be in there. Torrey Holt.
I mean, it took Isaac Bruce forever to get in. He retired. That's like the best in yards and touchdowns. And then it took him forever.
Top 5. Big fan.
That's what I mean. But it just took forever.
This is Bandit. He founded Underdog Fantasy so that humans who really love sports could play with their friends and win some big prizes. Tell your human to go to underdogfantasy.com today.
Hey, I wanted to let's kind of veer off a little bit before we finish, because there was something that I wanted to talk about the Rams. You know, I talked about the Rams and I said, "Oh man, season might be done." People are sending emojis or memes of they won the Super Bowl. I said, "Hey guys, it might be tough." I don't know if this is correct. I think it's 8 or 10 undrafted quarterbacks have started a game for the Los Angeles Rams. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. But that's like since McVay got there?
Yes. I believe so.
It wouldn't shock me. I mean, there's been 2 this year in the last 3. This last 3 weeks has been 2. So there's 2 right there.
Yeah, you got to remember when
Mannion? Was Mannion one of them?
Mannion. You got to remember when Golf got hurt?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think back to.
He started. Then remember he got hurt and had to play somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's crazy, bro. It is unbelievable, and that just tells me they are. The Rams have 6 draft picks next year: a second, a third, 3 6s, and 1 7th round.
I'm going to ask.
Yes, ask the question.
I'm going to ask a question that may infuriate you, so I want to preface it with that.
Okay.
There are some people in the draft community who say the draft is.
Where's the draft community? First of all, like
it's on the World Wide Web. It's on the internet.
Okay, I just want. I've never been to this community, so I just
for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Is there a is there a certain requirement? Are there stipulations on who's accepted in the draft community?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's people who just go in there and run their mouths and they get laughed at. There's people like me who just do eye scout testing. There's other people who.
What's an eye scout?
Like I don't check the numbers. I'm not looking at like the relative athletic score, stuff like that. Like I watch the game.
You mean athletic score? What is the athletic score?
The RAS. It's like after people do the combine, someone calculates all the numbers and they juxtapose it to other, like, so for wide receiver, Christian Watson, for example, had a 10. That's the highest you can get is a 10.
But is the 10, is this 10 based off the league or is just based off this draft community score?
It's based off of the rest of the players. I think it's every combine ever. I don't think it's just that year's.
No. I'm talking about where these statistics and numbers, like where are they? Like,
coming from the combine.
Oh, okay. I'm new to this. I'm
no, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm just you're schooling me on, because as a player, there are some parts, like as a player, a former player, right? I don't know. I only experienced free agency once, right? So there's some aspects of the game that I don't know about, right? So
The
that's
fan side, I'm sure there's a lot you don't know about and shouldn't
actually,
know about.
like I'm learning how expensive parking at events are. It's expensive, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
Oh,
expensive.
when I was at Disney last week,
Ah!
I was like, this is more affordable than to take my family to a Red Sox game. Like, comfortably more affordable. That's how crazy parking and just going to an event is.
Yeah. Do you park like in somebody's house? Are you like one of those where you'll park at someone's house?
Oh yeah, for the Patriots it's different because Kraft set it up in such a way where it's actually
I've been there. It's
$20.
It's madness how to get into that parking lot. But continue, sorry.
It is, but it's set up in a way where it doesn't kill your pockets, and it's it takes forever to get out.
Well, yes, it does take. It took me an hour to leave. It took me an hour to just get to the freeway to head back downtown.
It's tough. But yeah, Celtics games, I'll usually take the train in. Red Sox games, I know enough people. I don't have to pay for parking.
Oh, slight flex. Continue.
I grew up in the city. Like, my father always knew places to park. He's like, I'm not paying for that. Like, get out of here. But back to the draft. There are some people who firmly believe the draft's really only 4 rounds. That those 5, 6, and 7 picks are lottery tickets, and you might not even have all the numbers filled out on your lottery ticket.
I mean, they are places that they fill a void with a player and give them a try, right? I would agree. The first 4 picks are those picks. They have to do something drastically wrong for them to get released. Like if a 3rd or 4th round draft pick from any team is cut, he automatically, or if they're thinking about cutting him, they will trade him and another team will pick him up so quickly. And they get so many opportunities. In the first 4 rounds, if you are not very good, a team will draft you and the league will make sure that there's almost like this unwritten rule among scouts. They will bring him in and make sure he's a lemon. They make sure there is nothing left, that he is unrecognizable, useless, before they let a first through 4 rounds just disappear. They do it. Like if they made a mistake, right? If they say, oh, we drafted this wide receiver out of TCU over Justin Jefferson, we will trade him to another team, and he will automatically be given the punt return job and just do okay before we just say, hey, we made a mistake.
He had a big catch against us too. That was infuriating.
Why? He could play. If you watch his college tape, he had splashes of explosiveness. He showed you he could play. The problem, though, is you draft him at that area in that round, kind of like Jerry Jeudy, and when he doesn't give you the success that you automatically deem him based off that pick, it's a failure, and that's not fair.
For sure. I don't disagree with that. I think N'Keal Harry more than Jalen Reagor when it comes to first-round receivers who were given another shot. I get why Jalen Reagor got another shot.
N'Keal, What are you about to say, N'Keal? About N'Keal?
I was surprised someone traded anything for him. I thought he would have got cut and then picked up. Like, I didn't think he was going to be out of the league immediately, but I was surprised someone was like, no, I want first crack at this.
You know why? Because there's always somebody in every organization that doubts how the other organizations are ran to go, well, I know that such and such coach, he's an idiot, so I could get him and I can make him better.
Yeah.
And that's why. Other coaches they respect each other in their craft, but they're like, that coach doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, Bill Belichick, I think one of his strongest attributes is I'll call it like the second draft, when he goes and gets a Kyle Van Noy, who the Lions weren't using in his eyes correctly, and then he
Which
turns
is
him
true.
into a Pro Bowler. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
gosh,
Like it,
so aggravating to play against Kyle. He was so good, so smart. Just he's great dude. By the way, great
yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like even Jelani Tavai, the linebacker for the Patriots now,
Yeah.
going into the draft, and it's something I still don't fully understand, but he was tagged a Patriots type player, which I don't know what that means. Like good, he's a good player. I don't know. I fully don't know what Patriots type means. And the Lions took him right before us. This is when Matt Patricia was still there. And on the Lions, he did nothing. Patricia and Tavai. And now he's the starting linebacker for the Patriots. So it's always interesting, like what you're just saying. Like, yeah, you don't know how to use this guy like I do.
Well, who was the coach? Who was the coordinator? The coordinator didn't know, or the scheme that they were running was not there for Tavai to be able to be used in a way. And so he goes
Right.
with a similar coach, meaning Matt Patricia knew of him, know what he's capable of. You just have to have the right people around him to be able to put him in a good position to show what he can do.
Is there anyone in the league right now that comes to mind where you think that they would flourish if they got put in a different system? I won't even say a different team.
Well, I would say that's a great example. Skyy Moore, right?
Okay.
The Kansas City Chiefs have said they're no longer going to put him on punt return. Let me show you why he dropped that punt return, and then show you a few other plays of why he's on punt return, because what he's capable of doing. Skyy Moore drops this punt return because, first of all, he takes his eyes off. But when the punt goes in the air, he's looking at the punt. He goes, the ball is moving fast enough. And Skyy is so confident and capable and has that quick twitch. He said, man, all I need is a crack. All I need is a little bit. And that ball was right there, already pinned on the right side of the 50, right? And positioning himself that the offense, like, hey, if I can get one, because especially the coach tells him, hey, if he gives you one in the right one, get it. So he gets it, but he's peeking. Every punt returner does it, where he's looking at the ball is going, and he goes, all right, where's my guys? Where's my guys? Where's my guys? Oh, I got it. Play it. So he has it. When he catches it, he's already going, pause right there. When he drops it, he's looking forward, saying, I got a little bit of room. All I need is a little bit. I don't need a full plate. Man, just give me a half a sandwich, 2 or 3 chips. Give me something to drink.
Give me a taste. Yeah.
Give me it, and we can roll. He drops that, right? But then the next play, let me show you some of these other plays, why they had him on punt return. He can take the smallest little thing, and go and get active, right? Yes, he drops his punt, but coach, they don't get on him, they don't cuss him out. But look at this route right here, small little route, should be down, all of a sudden gets going. It's really cool to see what he's capable of. Catches the ball, he's staggering, falling, gets hit, and the hit actually allows him to get his balance. Here, watch this one. Bang. The wiggle, go back, the wiggle. He already sees that the defender is going right. So you know what he does? He gives him a little bit of wiggle to say, pause right there. He already sees the defender going right. So he gives the defender what he wants. You want some more of the right. So let me go ahead, weave again, make you fully commit, and then try to scamper off. Skyy Moore has the ability, bro, I'm telling you, when Skyy Moore gets it all together, and Kadarius Toney, it's going to be trouble. And you already got Patrick Mahomes, and these guys can roll.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think Tyreek Hill leaving the Kansas City Chiefs opens the door for Andy Reid to be even more creative with what he has and almost kind of challenge him to go, I know we had this dependable guy named Tyreek Hill, the cheetah that can run. But now we got some younger kids who can run, but they also got some wiggle. They can turn a 10-yard out into a 60-yard touchdown.
Does that make Mahomes a better quarterback too?
No, I don't think it makes him a better quarterback. I think it makes him a more dangerous, potent, lethal quarterback that has the ability, instead of it being a 10-play drive, it ended up being a 4-play, 75-yard drive for a touchdown. Quick strike. Dangerous.
Does seeing the number 24 on a wide receiver make you want to puke?
No. Why does it make you want to puke?
It just doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right at all.
Why are you judging his number choice?
It's just so new to the NFL. Like, I don't watch a lot of college because I'm the Northeast.
But every player wants, man, you always want that odd number. If I could go back, I probably would have rolled 0, bro.
So 0, like, I think single digits, teens.
I wore
80s.
7 in college. In high school, I wore 3 and 15 because we had, for home jersey, we had 3, but we didn't have a 3 in the away jersey. Public school.
But 24, like, I think Ty Law, I think Stephon Gilmore, I think Darrell Reeves.
Okay.
It just looks so different on a wide receiver.
Change your mind, man. Change your mind.
I will not.
Like you live in a Slough. You can't. You like routine.
It's not even routine. Like, I think Reggie Bush should have been able to wear 5 in the NFL. I think that made sense.
Yeah.
Like, they made him wear 25. I think that held him back a bit. I think Jadeveon Clowney should have been able to wear 7. Clowney coming off the edge in 7.
Look, Clowney coming off the edge is scary. He could be he could wear no jersey. It's still scary.
That'd be scarier, yeah.
It's like Javon Clowney. Ah! Why Trent Brown? Why did you not block him?
You block him, yeah. I don't 24. Like, I like that guys get the freedom now to wear different numbers, but 24 just. Yeah.
I did see Dunlap for the Kansas City Chiefs wearing number 8. I was like, who the heck is number 8? And then I was like, that's Dunlap. I was like, gosh, he just looks different.
Right. Yeah, it looks way different.
Yeah. I think Dunlap looks scarier because, like, you don't know who he is. Hey, also, too.
He's a new guy.
Yeah, also, too. Valdez Scandry. I saw something when I was watching during the game. I just pay attention so much to small little details, right? If you look at Valdez Scandry's jersey, they pieced it together, right? Because his name is so long. They put his jersey together, like most jerseys are just one. His jersey in the back is like where the 11 is. It starts. That's how they put it. So they basically like did his jersey as Valdez, and then the other person did Scandry, and then they put them together and sold them. Like if you look in the back, it's like right there.
This is different.
His is different. Like they had, because his name is so long, they took a 1 and a 1, Scandry, Valdez, and sold them together. I just noticed that, but I don't know why. But that was just something that I noticed. Right. So we did gold, silver. Did you do your silver?
No, my silver was Baltimore, Jacksonville.
I don't want to talk about that game.
Well, the only thing I wanted to say.
Yeah, go ahead and talk. I'm not going to talk about it.
Jacksonville, historically, in games where they were losing by any amount of points, with 2 minutes left in the game, were 0-162, a full baseball season worth of losses. 0-162 before this game. That was their first win. So congrats to the Jags. That's big.
Yeah, it was an upset.
And Trevor Lawrence does look a lot better,
it was an upset. That's all I'm going to say. I don't have anything else to. Oh, my Browns. San Francisco blanking the New Orleans Saints. Bro, they have like a whole scrimmage yards. They have like a whole receivers like glory in a year. They have like almost 1,100 yards, scrimmage yards in the last 3 games. It's crazy. They're what 50? What was the score?
13-0.
13-0. They are in the last 3 games. In the second half, they have literally scored 60 points. 60 points to 0. Their defense are thumpers, physical. Man, it's going to be extremely interesting to see. It's going to be extremely interesting to see the Seattle and 49ers game. It's going to come down to the wire. I want to see how bad or good Geno Smith plays under duress because the 49ers are coming after the quarterback. They're going to have to run that football just to throw them off, but it's going to be crazy.
Eli Mitchell out 6 to 8 weeks.
I know,
another
that was
MCL.
tough. Yeah, that was
and tough. They're saying McCaffrey's banged up a little too.
Oh, he looked up.
So should that make the 49ers worried?
I don't know. I don't freaking know. All I know is they're gonna have to play their butt off going to Miami this week.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to play. Right? So before we get into week 3, let's do fantasy versus reality. Armchair quarterbacks. All right. So I'm 3 for 5, week 12. 12 for 19.
12 for 19 on the
63%.
season.
Show. Hey, in the league right now, that'll get you a contract extension. Let's ride.
Look at you going lower on Mac. Why don't you believe in Mac Jones, Steve? You went lower on the man.
Boy, you didn't even know he was going to play that well. Don't be out there acting like you knew it.
Everyone saw that coming.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Your man Taylor Heinecke, 210 passing yards at the Giants. The Giants have been sliding recently.
They have, but the only problem is I'm worried. But he doesn't throw. He's not throwing the ball a lot, right?
No.
They're so even if he gets it, I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be a surprise. I don't know. I believe that's a risky call.
Okay, stay away.
I think you stay away because the Giants, did we think they were going to beat the Dallas Cowboys? No. But it wasn't a cakewalk for the Dallas Cowboys. They were, even though it was 28-20, Dallas was playing out of their mind. The Giants kept Dallas awake. It wasn't
definitely.
It wasn't like, oh, we got this. It was like, hey, we could do it, but be careful. The Giants are not giving up.
Right.
Brian Daboll has them playing well, so I would stay away from that one.
Okay. Lamar Jackson, 259.5 total yards versus Denver. He had 343 last week.
Correct. But Denver is not a slouch. Denver's run defense. Denver's just a good team. But Denver is also giving up a lot of points, a lot of yards. So I would say yes. I'm going with that one.
Okay. Higher on Lamar. Garrett Wilson.
Yes.
With Mike White.
Yes.
50.5 receiving yards at Minnesota.
For if Zach Wilson's playing, that's a tough task.
Yeah, that's a lower.
You telling me he has 4 opportunities, meaning at least a pass a game. He's gonna catch a pass 10 or 12 yards in the middle, get some yak. So yes, I'm giving him 50 yards for him, absolutely. Because Elijah Moore will get some looks, and that will open up Garrett Wilson. And they're playing a lot of zone. They're not playing man-to-man, shut down corner defense.
As a rookie, how impressed are you with Garrett Wilson's route running? His tree?
He can play. He can play. Yeah, I don't want to say I'm not impressed because I'm not impressed because I already expected him to be where he is. It was just how long was it going to take him after his injury to get up to speed, right? Just like Chris Olave, I'm not impressed because I expected those dudes to play the way they're playing. I just didn't expect them to show it so soon.
Yeah.
But they could play. So I'm saying I'm not impressed because this is what I expected them to be ballers.
Trevor Lawrence, 260 and a half passing yards at Detroit.
The problem is Detroit is a better team. They're playing. Their defense is playing better. I don't know which Jacksonville Jaguars Trevor Lawrence is going to show up. I'm staying away from that one.
For me, Detroit always gets up for the Thanksgiving game. They don't always win it, but they always get up for that game.
So you saying a letdown coming?
Might be a little bit of a letdown this week. Yeah.
So, okay. So, no, I'm going with Trevor Lawrence because Coley is saying a letdown. So, if Coley is wrong, we blame it on Coley. If Coley is right, we're giving all the credit to Steve. Cool. All right. How you like that one?
Feels fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill, 94 and a half receiving yards at San Francisco. 85 last week.
I know that's going to be a tough one. That is going to be definitely a tough one.
And Tariq Armstead's down.
Yeah.
So will Tua have as much time in the pocket?
I don't know. It's going to be a great game, though. I think it's going to be a great game.
That's my goal for next week.
That's my goal, too. You got two teams that know exactly what each other are doing. The San Francisco 49ers have an all-star team. Jawan Jenkins is playing great. He's out there playing outstanding. Man, Debo seems like he's a little dinged up. Brandon Ayuk is balling. George Kittle's being George Kittle. Just greatness. It's going to be really interesting to see how this chess match between teacher and student or student and teacher. I don't know. It's definitely. But I also think I'm going to be impressed to see how Kyle uses Mike McDaniel's knowledge of his offense against them to fool him, to window dress. Hey, we're going to run this post because last week we ran this post corner. And then this week against Miami, we're going to run the post corner post. That's the kind of stuff Kyle does. And then we're gonna in the same game we need a big play. We're gonna run the post corner. And Jimmy G is out there. Jimmy G threw a pass the other day. He was under duress with his eyes closed one time.
Bitcoin Jimmy, that's what he does.
That boy was under duress. He said, ah. I said, boy, it must be nice. It must be nice to be able to close your eyes when you're throwing and nothing bad happens. I mean, I think the ball got hit, but it was just like a guy came and hit him, and he was doing this. He went, I said, what in the world?
Now, we were talking about this yesterday on the show. We were talking about potential Zach Wilson landing spots if the Jets move on from him. I floated the 49ers out there. Jimmy G leaving in free agency. Trey Lance coming back from injury.
Trey Lance.
Do you think
Trey Lance is not the quarterback of the future for them?
Okay, so even if would that further the interest in maybe being like, hey, we don't think the Jets are, and I mean, it's a former 49ers guy, but we don't think they're as smart as we are here. Could we get the best out of Zach Wilson in our offense?
That's pretty sexy. I like that. That's attractive. Oh. That's like, you saying that is like being at a salad bar and discovering they have brownies too. Like I was like,
the chocolate fountain?
It's like, ooh, there's ranch. How did that get there?
And he's not on here, but would you look at Ayuk's hires if Debo's banged up, the running game's banged up,
Yes,
or
yes.
would Miami be keying on Ayuk?
I think they will be keying on IU, but I just think Kyle is also. But Kyle also is expecting that too. So it's
Right.
man, Kyle just does a great job.
Mhm.
It's this team. The only Janoris Jenkins is they were signed on a practice squad, so they're looking at
Ooh.
depth. Did you know that?
Jackrabbit. I
Yeah.
did not know that. No.
So it's going to be interesting to see. They are loading up and ready for the injuries, getting guys in shape, getting ready. So they can see that they could do a playoff push. The way the defense is playing with San Francisco 49ers, they make them a very dangerous team in the playoffs.
Definitely.
Makes them an extremely dangerous team in the playoffs.
And if they can get Mitchell back in the middle of that playoff run and have that two-headed running back
That would be
monster
awesome.
that they're trying to build, yeah, that
Yes.
would be massive.
Yeah.
He's not on. He's not on here either. But I noticed Swole Bones himself, DK
Swole
Metcalf.
Bones. I'm not Swole Bone. Go ahead.
He had 15 targets, 11 receptions, 90 yards. It feels like Seattle is using him more like how the Saints use Marquez Colston, or how Jarvis Landry's kind of operated his whole career, rather than feed him vertically. I don't know if there's anything you've seen.
I think teams are taking away. Teams are making him run different routes because they know his explosiveness. DK Metcalf can run straight all day. I mean, he was almost making Olympic trials, bro. He can run. We've seen
He's a
that,
monster,
right? But we also know when teams know what you can do, they want to take that away. So you have to prove to people that you can run different routes. And I think that's what they're forcing him to do. And I think he's learning, he's adapting. The offense for the Seattle Seahawks is changing because of that. And because of that, that's what's also assisting them and helping them move the ball and making DK Metcalf actually earn his keep and show that he's evolving as a wide receiver, not just straight ahead, not just using his speed and big boying people, but being creative in his route running as well.
They are definitely having him run more outs, more coming across the middle of the field.
They have to.
But it's to me, it's not that he can't run the routes. It's after he gets the ball, the turning out of the route to cut up field. That's because coming into the league, everyone pointed to his 3-cone. Like, that's why you can't take him high. His 3 cones was slow. He can't get out of his route. And it's like, no, he can run the route.
That's also dropping your weight, being efficient, being clean. Every receiver, even a receiver that's good at it in college, they get better at it in the league because a corner you're going against in college, a linebacker you're going against in college, his 3-cone is deficient just like yours.
Right.
But in the league, he's working on it too, his transition. So they're cutting down the useless movement so it evolves, and so he has to evolve. So that's the difference. Dropping your weight, getting skinny, getting agile. There's nothing agile about DK Metcalf. He's 200 and something pounds, 6 foot, humongous. He's had to learn a little bit. That was one of the questions I asked. I said, has he peaked? Because there are certain routes that he can run that no one can. But there's also certain routes that he can't run because of the way his body is built. Some of the things that he does that just doesn't allow him to. And so he has to work on it. And it sounds like he's been working on it, and it's been paying dividends for DK and this offense.
Definitely. But it's almost like they're using him to box out corners, and then he gets no yard after the catch because they're already on his back.
Well, yeah, that's just the route he's running, right?
Yeah.
And they're also DK when he's catching the ball in the middle of the field, it's always crowded.
Oh, for sure.
So that doesn't help. So that it's a combination, right? But he's also building the muscle memory. The team is building the muscle memory of defenses. If they can make this playoff push, and I believe they can, all of a sudden he's running that in. All of a sudden he's running that slant. And when they need a big play, yoo-hoo, Jedi mind trick. then he's going to run that in and up. That's going to come at some point. That's the evolution of big plays.
Do you think some teams, not necessarily Seattle, but some teams would benefit more from throwing pure 50-50 balls? Like just go deep. Like
Well,
the
that's
Titans, for example.
No, well, the 50-50 ball has to be on the mark.
Okay.
Traylon Burks called it 50-50 ball.
Right. That's why I thought of them.
Yeah. But there's other passes where it didn't need to be a 50-50 ball. It just need to be on the mark.
Right. Yeah.
So it sometimes you 50-50, but there's also like guys like Jalen Ramsey who, man, he could jump with the best of them. So that 50-50
definitely
ain't really
pick your
50-50.
definitely pick your spots. You can't do it again. You gotta pick your spots for sure. But that's why I'm like, no, 1,000%. But I think it goes the other way too. When you have like even a Devontae Parker, someone if he's going up and you see he's got
yes, but hasn't that also got you guys in trouble? Right?
Because we haven't thrown 50-50. Well, that they haven't been. They've been triple coverage balls. So it's 25, 25, 25, 25 balls.
But see, that's a 50-50 ball. See, some fans don't realize that you're basically saying my guy can outjump your guy or your guys, and that's where the laziness of it. And that's where I'm talking about Heinecke. That's what Heinecke does. Like he threw a ball, right, he threw a pass to Curtis Samuel. It is no way he should have threw that ball. But it happens. All right. So my bronze this week. Kansas City at Cincinnati.
This is my silver.
Ooh. Why is this your silver?
Rematch of the AFC Championship from last year when the league said Patrick Mahomes had been figured out. You just played too high against him and he can't do anything about it. He looks fine this year. He's the leading MVP candidate, in my opinion. And if Jamar Chase is back, now we get to see Cincinnati closer to full strength. Yeah. I don't know if Joe Mixon's fully recovered.
I don't think Joe Mixon's fully recovered either. I don't think – the reason why this is my bronze, I think Cincinnati is too Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. They're so up and down. They don't, I gave it as a compliment. They don't run the football. They run the football just to show that they're effective. But I don't think they're actually effective in running the football.
No, they're not.
They think they are because they're gaining some yards with P-Ryan. But let's be honest, they didn't think they were going to get that kind of action from P-Ryan. Heck, they
think very highly of it. They gave P-Ryan the ball in the franchise's most important play. The last play of the Super Bowl, they said, we need Samaje. That's how highly they think of. That's how highly the Bengals think of Samaje Perine.
I just think that Zach Taylor is he goes off his play sheet and he just calls the next play that's supposed to be on there. Right. So I reason is I can see Cincinnati beating Kansas City, but I also can see Cincinnati losing a great opportunity to capitalize on position themselves better and tricking this off going against Kansas City because Zach Taylor's going to say, you think Andy Reid can draw up some plays? Now I'll show you I could draw up some plays. He's going to get too cute. That's why it's my bronze.
Where does – I'm not asking you to rank guys, but T. Higgins.
I love T. Higgins. He's a beast.
He's been cast as a number 2 because of Jamar Chase.
Hey, make sure we edit that out. He's a grown man. He's a grown man. Come up, you roll up on T. Higgins if you want to. T. Higgins is a grown man. No, sir.
My bronze is Titans-Eagles.
Man, because I like that one too.
There's a lot. There's going to be a lot of running in this game.
You think? How do you figure?
I'm going to step out on a limb, and that's dangerous at my size.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
But I'm out there. I'm twinkle toesing on the branch. I want to see. I think this is a great test for the Eagles, Derrick Henry, and the Titans' offense. The Eagles are 10-1. The Eagles are great. Jalen Hurts is an MVP candidate. He's in that top 3 for sure. I'd like to see this defense versus Derrick Henry. That sounds like an enjoyable watch to me. And on the flip side, Jalen Hurts versus this Titans front seven.
Here's what I'm concerned about in this game. I can see the Philadelphia Eagles winning, but I also can see the Titans beating them because the Titans are just one of those teams that the Philadelphia Eagles sometimes can get sloppy, right? And the Tennessee Titans are one of these teams that they are built for nasty football. They're built for ugly wins. Oh, yeah. Like if it's an ugly game, and you're like, man, who's that ugly team? That's Tennessee Titans. Like that is exactly how they like to play football. They like it ugly, slow, drag on. If you're a team that don't like to finish, you don't want to play the Tennessee Titans. If you're a team 100%. that wants to get out there and get cute, the Tennessee Titans will be that buzzsaw. All right, so I can see this game. I can see the Philadelphia Eagles winning. I can also see them losing because the Tennessee Titans are you will respect this, like they're like the Wu-Tang Clan, right? Okay. They just got a lot of cast of characters. They ain't pretty, but they get it done. You like that, huh?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I want to sit here and be like, who's RZA? Is Vrabel RZA? Because he's setting the table. He's got the beats. He's producing everything. He's setting the table.
Yeah, it's just so much going on, and it all works for him. But then every so often you go, like the Cincinnati game, you go, yeah, there's a few spots that we saw that they probably should have did better, right? I'm just worried about what's going to happen emotionally for A.J. Brown. Because he wants to win that game badly.
Definitely.
Right? And Vrabel also wants to make sure A.J. Brown does not play well as well. So it's interesting. I like that one. I like that one. My silver is because I think the Los Angeles Chargers are in trouble.
Okay.
I can see them keeping their coach, but because their quarterback has so much, he brings so much to the table, I can also see them firing their coach and bringing in like a Sean Payton or somebody. Because, and the reason I say that is because Justin Herbert is so attractive for a potential coach to say, man, if I can get a guy like that, I could do some great things.
Definitely.
And I could just see the Las Vegas Raiders, if they continue on this Josh Jacobs train, and if I'm Josh Jacobs, you told me that you wanted me to prove that I should be re-signed. He's proven he needs to be re-signed, and I wouldn't re-sign because you made me do some extra stuff, and I'm not unwilling to work, but you've also played with my feelings, so I'm good.
Play with his pockets too.
I'm just talking about I'm not talking about the financial part. I'm talking about the emotional part of, I got to prove it. This is a prove it year. I proved it, and you also have proved that I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So I would. That's why this is an interesting game. Does the Vegas Raiders, do they win? And then, are the Chargers going to find a way to trick it off?
This is when a very movable object meets what is it? When it's an unmovable object and
unmovable and movable. Yeah, it's
the opposite of that. Very movable and extremely movable. Neither of these teams. This could be a tie. I'm going to predict a tie.
It could be a tie, and both teams walking away going, man, we gave it our best. No, you didn't. You had 3 or 4 opportunities to win that game. What are you doing?
Yeah,
You know,
that game's
listen,
gonna tie.
the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Have you ever ordered a Sprite and got a water and it's not that water is disgusting. Your palate just was expecting Sprite, carbonation,
Right.
and you got water
Yeah.
and you spit it out like, oh, that is poison. That's what this game is for me. I want to know, did she or he get my order right? Because it looks like water, but it also looks like Sprite, but it definitely looks like water. But she couldn't screw that up. He couldn't screw that. Yep, he did. And then now when they come back and they go, is everything okay? The wife touches you. Just let it go, babe. Just let it go. Just let it go. No. You know, the wife tells you, you're good. You're good. You're like, oh, okay.
I guess I'm good.
Yeah. You're sitting there drinking that water like, man, I asked for first though.
Yeah, this is not quenching my thirst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You that's happened to you before, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and you're from the West Coast, so I don't even know if this is something you even care about. But
Arnold
my
Palmer?
least favorite. No, I don't. I know you love Arnold Palmer. I've seen you drink them in front of me.
Yeah, I love
But when I'm at a restaurant and I go, "Can I get a Coke?" and they go, "Is Pepsi okay?"
Okay, yeah.
It's never okay. It's literally never okay.
I do love wild cherry Pepsi though.
Wild cherry Pepsi is the exception.
Hey, that's a
Wild
cheat day. Let me tell you, Pop Secret Mini with wild cherry Pepsi, boy, oh boy, it's a party. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Hey, dog, give me an old school movie like Peter Pan, like the never-ending story that never ends. It's like 4 hours. Yeah. Pop Secret, wild cherry Pepsi, dog. That's what
you
I'm
need
talking.
more than the mini bag if you're throwing on the never-ending story.
Yeah, you can still let it play because I've seen it before and go do another one. I don't know, like when you Pop Secret, the snack packs, they taste so much better than the big bag.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
I'm gonna have to test this.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed that, but I will test. I'll get in the lab. I'll get my coat on. I'll start testing the popcorn.
In the lab.
The popcorn lab. Yeah, I'll get in there.
All right.
My silver is Chiefs Bengals still. So, and we have the same goal. Dolphins 49ers.
I'm looking forward to that game. All right, who you got? Who you got? Dolphins or 49ers? That's not a team. It's not a team.
I lean 49ers. I do think Tua still hasn't lost since he came back.
Yeah.
It's tough. I'll go 49ers.
Ooh.
Yeah, but part of the reason I'm so stuck on this is I can't get Eric Mangini out of my head. And the reason I can't get Eric Mangini out of my head is when people talk about the Belichick coaching tree, they conveniently leave him out. Eric Mangini is not a coach right now, not because he was bad as a coach, but because he was blackballed by the league because of him snitching on the Patriots. That's why Eric Mangini's not. People just don't like him. We talk about guys who interview well. People just don't like Eric Mangini when he gets into that room. That's why he's not a coach right now. But Eric Mangini beat Bill Belichick when they squared off against each other. And I kind of feel that way about Mike McDaniels. I think Mike McDaniel might be the better coach. And I think he's out to prove it this week. That's why it's so hard for me. The Armstead injury hurts because I do think the 49ers defense can get after Tua in a way other teams haven't been able to. And that's where I ultimately lean the 49ers. But man, oh man, I do think the Dolphins, I don't think it's going to be a blowout one way or the other.
I'm going to Dolphins.
Okay.
I'm just going to Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to continue to surprise people. Their defense with Bradley Chubb, he added another level and layer of complicating this defense. They add another level of a guy that can penetrate in the run game. They add another layer of a guy that can get off the snap and get after the quarterback, get your guy off the spot. They just are doing so many things, and they don't get to pick their opponent. But when the opponent is picked for them, they show up. they never get too high, get too low. They just ball.
Right.
So I think the 49ers will lose this game. And I think the Miami Dolphins win.
Are the Dolphins going to be a team people sleep on even in January?
No, I don't think they're going to sleep on in January. Here's the problem, though, with the Dolphins, and I think this is why the Dolphins have to continue to be gung-ho. They got to continue to get up to that 1 seed so they can have home field advantage.
Definitely.
Right? Because
they don't want to go to Buffalo. They don't want to go to Kansas City.
No, who does? It's chilly. It's cold. It changes your game plan. Right? It changes your game plan. So I think that they're playing, they understand where they are and how they can get there, and they have a plan and they're going to move forward with it. That's what I like with this one. They're risking all the biscuits. How about that? You know, sometimes they say no biscuit, no biscuit. They're risking the biscuits and risking it.
I think it's interesting you talk about the game plan changing, because I've heard Tom Brady talk at length about, I love playing at home in January and December because teams would make too many adjustments.
Yep.
They would think it was cold, so they would try and run it more.
Yep.
It's just as easy to throw in the cold as it is in the
if you're
warm.
not used to it.
For sure.
Side note. Asterisk. We got to start this game.
Okay.
Week 13. Who's back?
Oh, boy. Yeah.
No, his name is not old boy.
When he gets brought up, that's what people say these days. So, Deshaun Watson's back. Back in Houston.
Here's the thing that I was having a conversation with an underdog guy. Shout out to Josh McCown. Josh pointed out, me and Josh were just talking football. Josh pointed out the last time Deshaun Watson played in cold weather in Cleveland, he was a Houston Texan. He didn't play well. What's going to happen when the weather's getting bad? Hey, I don't care what you believe, climate change, all that stuff. Hey, bro, hey, people, it's going to be a cold winter in some of these cold places. Deshaun Watson has rarely played and performed well in cold weather. Cleveland is a cold place. And that water, and that wind and cold coming off that water, what was it, Energy Progressive, whatever it's called, it's chilly. I want to see how he's going to play against his former team. He's been sitting and learning this offense because he did not look smooth in the preseason. He's been learning this offense and getting all the wrinkles out with nobody in his face. Will and can he make the right reads for the first time since he's played in the preseason? And then what happens when he has to play in the cold? Playing in the cold, if you haven't played in it, is different. Hey, when Tika, my dog, when I got to take her outside to use the bathroom and it's cold, it just hits you differently. I take her out, 3-4 times a day, but at 6 o'clock in the morning in the summer, man, it's an easy one. I'm in some basketball shorts and a t-shirt. It's great. Man, I got to put on some layers sometimes. I'm like, hey, let's wait.
How cold does it get in Carolina? I'm asking because I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 34. It's been getting cold 20s. Heck, in Boone, it was 16. It's going to be pretty chilly.
Oh, Boone's up in the mountains, right?
Yeah, but but you say how cold it gets cold.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I don't care. 30 degrees in Green Bay is different than Charlotte, but it's still under one category. You know what category that is?
Cold.
It's not going to be easy.
I took my dogs out this morning. The grass looked like me. That's how much frost was on the grass. They have white lawns.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it that bad before.
Did you go out with shorts and a t-shirt?
I wasn't as dressed. I was dressed in layers, but
I
threw some gloves on.
Yeah, you were like, no. Let me. So it's different.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
All right. Well, great show, bro.
I liked it. I liked it a whole lot.
I liked it too. Hey, all right. Well, hey, hit that subscribe button if you like it. Also, there's a few people that left some comments. Appreciate it. One guy said, hey, I left a comment because Steve said leave a comment. Thank you. Hit that subscribe button.
Simple. Simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Simple instructions. Hit that subscribe button. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give us a thumbs down. Hey, we like to hear good feedback. And also, too, for some of you people that have put under there and have said, I was overrated, I'm a bum, I'm a thug.
Who's saying these things?
Hey. 19,000 all-purpose yards, people.
That's right.
Google me. Hey, I'm Steve Smith Sr.
Totally Mick.
This is Cut to It. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We out.